On today's episode, we welcome longtime friend Lee Kaplan to put the 1990 American sports action drama Days of Thunder to the ultimate test, the nostalgia test.
He didn't slam into you. He didn't bump you. He didn't nudge you. He rubbed you. And rubbing, son, is racing.
Welcome to the Nostalgia Test Podcast, the show where two longtime friends put their mainstream pop culture past to the ultimate test, the Nostalgia Test.
Woo! Dan, that's right. The 90s are here. And
Right.
we are at another Tom Cruise favorite. And wait, first I gotta say, you're about to get you're overpowered by two Tom Cruise lovers. I don't know lovers. It sounds bad. But anyways,
second
I don't know
dirtiest
if
thing
I know
you've said
anybody
so far.
else. I don't know if I know anybody else that loves Tom Cruise. Like Tom Cruise can do no wrong in movies. And this guy is another one of my best friends. And apparently a really good fan of ours, but he's a secret fan. He isn't. He like brought it up the other day that he's been listening to a lot of our episodes. That's right. Lee, and also hold on, he's also a partner of Lithology. So what does that mean, Dan?
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Are you thirsty? Do you like craft beer? Are you on Long Island? Well, you should stop at 211A Main Street in Farmingdale at Lithology Brewing. Find craft beer makers and co-host of this podcast. And now special guest co-host of the podcast, Lee Kaplan.
There you go.
Lithology Brewing, for all your craft needs. Come down. Cheers.
Great. All right. Great. Lee, welcome to the podcast. Thank you so much for coming and doing the test on Days of Thunder.
Thanks, man. As a big secret fan, this is an honor. I really feel, rather special today. And I want you guys to know that you're popping my podcast cherry here.
Cherry? So. Nice.
Yeah.
I love that. Finally, we did a Tom Cruise one. Like he's been talking about, he's like, oh, we should do this, we should do that. I'm like, finally, Tom Cruise. I would say me and Lee are huge fans of Tom Cruise movies. I think, and about this movie, specifically this movie, we know each other from being in the ski and snowboard club in college. And I had the DVD of this movie, and this movie would play after riding. We'd all be like just drunk, done. There'd only be like 3 people up. Dan, when I tell you this movie every weekend, this movie was on. Right?
Really?
Yeah, I've seen the first 45 minutes of this movie about 150 times.
Okay.
And fallen asleep at like 2 a.m. But
we would torture people with this movie. Like I would always just pass out on the couch in the living room. And Lee's like, you put this on again. I was like, yeah, I mean, it was like, I don't even, maybe we had the VHS. I don't know. Cause like you went into these houses and there was no cable and you just had to like, whatever was there. And I think I might've just brought a DVD. Like we brought a couple DVDs and this was always on repeat. Always on repeat.
Well, I would say, Lee, you brought up the first 45 minutes. That's where I have, well, look, without getting too far into it right away, because I have a lot to say about the first, like the after the 45-minute mark.
It's a different movie.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, it becomes a little Rocky 2 for me, where I'm just like, or 5, where I'm just like, what's happening here?
Yeah.
But just a little facts, just here. We got Days of Thunder, comes out 1990. Film was produced by Don Simpson, Jerry Bruckheimer, and directed by Tony Scott. The film stars, a slew of amazing actors, and I'm probably going to mispronounce like 1 or 2 names. Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, Robert Duvall, Randy Quaid, Carrie Ewells, guy from Princess Bride, and Caroline Williams, and Michael Rooker, who, bro, we got to get into the Michael Rooker canon because that guy just shows up everywhere and kills it all the time. Love him.
Who's Michael Rooker? Who did he play?
What's his face? Randy something?
Rowdy.
Oh yeah,
Rowdy.
Dude, that guy is in a lot of things.
Oh yeah,
he's in every movie that you've seen that you're like, that guy's in this movie.
Yeah.
Dude, we
There's
have to do
also a recent like show a couple of years back that was pretty good.
He was in
the show.
what The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Okay. There was
Isn't
another
Isn't
one. I
he in
forget what it was.
oh, I'm gonna ruin this. Isn't he in the Marvel movie too? Guardians of the
Yes.
Galaxy plays the
Yeah,
guy
he
who
plays the guy, the
the guy with
whistling
the
guy.
arrow. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
This
Yeah.
guy, he kills it. I
He's
mean,
in
he's killing
Guardians of
it.
the Galaxy. He's in the
Guardians
first
of the
like two.
Galaxy.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It
yeah.
basically brought him up, brought Quill up. Like he like
That's right.
it was like
Wow.
his
Yeah.
like stepdad. Yeah.
Wow, he's
Yeah,
in
he's
everything.
great. Yeah.
He was in JFK, Cliffhanger, Tombstone, Mallrats. Remember his part in Mallrats?
Yeah.
Was it Mallrats?
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah,
yeah, he was.
bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. He ate some chocolate in that movie. But yeah, Days of Thunder made six. It would cost 60 million to make. Made a total of 157 million, though it didn't have it had mixed reviews in the beginning of its release. And well, Manny, we heard your first impressions and everything, and what you thought, and I mean, the history of you with Tom Cruise goes deep into this podcast.
Yeah.
But
Well-
yeah, Lee. Upon
Lee, first
rewatching
impressions
this,
before
yeah.
you started watching it.
Yeah.
What did you feel
Wait.
like? Were you like, this is going to be great? What did you think?
Before I start watching it again for the 900th time, is that what you're saying?
When was the last time you watched it though, for real?
I swear to you, I thought to myself, I don't know when the last time I saw the end of this movie is because I've put it on so many times and fallen asleep watching it. That was my first thought. Seriously.
Oh,
Yeah.
And about 10 minutes into the movie, I thought to myself, "This is Top Gun." This is just from the second he rides in on the Harley motorcycle instead of the Ninja, I'm like, oh boy, this is Top Gun.
Oh my God. Exactly. He rides in on that motorcycle, and not even it was even before that. Before that, when the music started and they show the track, and it's like, wah, wah,
Yeah.
wah, wah,
Yeah.
and I'm like, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
What are we doing here? This
You're
is
waiting-
literally
you're-
Top Gun.
You're waiting for Highway to the Danger Zone to
Yeah,
come
exactly.
on.
I mean, I gotta say the soundtrack. I was kind of pumped. There's a lot. There's the scene where they go into the montage of him learning how to drive. It's like I forget the name of that song, but it was like I liked the soundtrack, but I was like, this is the same tempo of freaking Top Gun.
Yeah.
Even like when the love scene starts, oh, we're just putting this in this movie out of nowhere for no reason whatsoever, other than you have to put this in because it's Tom Cruise. Like what? And then and I was like, I never realized the amount of times that we watched this. I don't think I've ever realized that it was Top Gun with wheels. You texted it to me today. You're like, this is Top Gun. I was like, it is.
Yeah. Iceman,
awesome.
Michael Rooker is Iceman.
Yes.
I mean, I guess
You could argue that Wheeler is Iceman. Also, he has more of a cocky,
but there's no
Rooker's-
respect at the end.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's a good point.
Yeah,
That's a good point.
They don't get any sort of thank you, man, or some bullshit like that.
True.
Some
true
nonsense line. But I saw this too in the gigantic Tom Cruise universe as Cocktail falls right in the middle of this, because I see this guy,
how's the story go?
Colin Trickle, is that his name?
Cole Trickle.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, which was my untapped beer name, like the beer app. That was my username, Cole Trickle. So
Cole Trickle.
That's how
Yeah.
much I like this movie.
The terrible name for character, but Trickle.
No, it's
Come
an amazing
on.
name.
Okay.
I think
Anyway,
it's supposed to be named after one of the old NASCAR driver whose name is Dick Trickle.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, not sorry. But anyway, I think what happens here is that Top Gun ends, right? He leaves the military. Him and his buddies stop that bus in Cocktail. He gets on the bus. So then now he's trying to start a new life, right? Now
Open up
they
a bar.
Yeah, they said he hates his parents, which answers the question of why Flanagan has no parents in Cocktail and only has his uncle. And then he fails at trying to open a business. So then he has to race to make more money. And then he goes back and opens up that franchise. That is the whole thing. And it also has the Cocktail arc. all this shit happens, love story, and then ending. Like,
Wrap it up. That's how it is. Yeah.
It was just like, oh fuck, we need one more race, guys. 20 more minutes. Let's go.
I will say that
you need to splice the two movies together.
Yeah, that's true.
Like put it on YouTube or something.
I mean, it would make sense. It would be like this is a good movie. Like I will say that this is for a 90s movie. It is more 80s.
It is.
Than like, you know how I always say like 80s cheese and 90s trash? It was like this wasn't 90s trash. No. It had a little bit more of like an 80s. To me, it had more of an 80s vibe just for like the way it was written.
It sort of ended like a genre when you think about it. Like it was like a 1990 movie. It sort of ended that 80s like montage, big movie, big scenes, big cast, like thing that was happening with so many 80s movies. Because after 1990, it was over.
Yeah.
Like all the movies changed.
Definitely. Drastically. And then I think like blockbusters weren't a thing, right? Like the 90s to me, I remember the biggest things in the night. Well, there was blockbusters, but like
Independence.
You were into
Jurassic
like
Park.
you were into like indie films. Like
they were coming out more like that,
like Mallrats,
especially in the late 90s, yeah.
You're like, and then like whatchamacallit, Silent Bob.
Yeah,
that was 90s,
Clerks.
right? Clerks,
yeah.
And then like was it something punk?
SLC Punk.
SLC Punk.
Was that in the 90s too? Jeez.
Yeah. I rewatched.
Yeah, so it was like all these little like 90s type of grunge. It was like matching the music,
especially from like 94, 95 on. That was big.
Yeah, of course you had your blockbusters, but like there was also, I mean, I guess for our age, there was that like
Kids, that movie Kids, that
holy
shit.
They just came out with a documentary about that.
Oh yeah,
like the making of that and stuff like that. Yeah,
it's
not good.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
not good.
Not good, dude.
Not good.
One of the guys that's in it is the guy who was rolling the blunt in the park.
Yeah,
and like I think it's his movie. Like he's the director.
Yeah,
and he was like talking about how
isn't Blair Witch from the 90s too? Like mid 90s.
I think it was 99. Wasn't that 99, 98? Let me see.
Yeah, it was something like that.
But I think like this movie, you're right, Lee.
99.
Yep, Blair Witch 99. It ends like that 80s feel of like gigantic film, because it was probably written in the 80s and then just released in 1990. But I think like
dude, they didn't have a full script finished.
No, they were writing
when they did this.
I was reading that
on the day, and they were saying that he had to get like cue cards, and then got into a major car accident because he was reading off cue cards while he's driving. So then they ended up giving him an earpiece to write his lines, to read his lines.
Crazy.
First of all,
probably why it's so much like Top Gun, because they were like, "Ah, screw it. Let's just go. We don't have the script ready. Let's just make it Top Gun."
Just like, replace all the car with plane and car. Just who cares? No one cares. No one gives a shit.
The thing is, like, they could have easily green screened it, and he didn't have to drive and get into a car accident. But it's Tom Cruise, so like, he definitely is like, no, we need to make sure I'm driving in this car. Like, of course,
yeah.
I just know I was going to bring this up. I've been watching the next Netflix documentary series on NASCAR. Not that I'm like into NASCAR, but I like series like that. I watched the F1 one, and then I've been getting into this one. The technology has gotten so much better for these guys. Like, there is no safety like protocol at all for any of these, like what these cars look like. Like Cole Trickle gets into a car that has no now they have these
head restraints.
They have these head restraints that you sit in so you're not moving. There's no like AC, because now I heard like you get attached to like cooling.
Right.
And Tom Cruise was dirty half the time coming out of that car. Like the grease and exhaust that these guys were like, some of these people died of heart attacks in these cars. No wonder, because they're just breathing in exhaust like that's it. They were just breathing in exhaust. It's crazy. Isn't that what Tom Cruise's Cole Trickle tries to accuse Harry
Yeah.
of like killing that
Yeah. He's
Magic Man's dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, can we talk about Magic Man's in this movie?
John C. Reilly.
Yeah. He's in this.
Lee, you never realized this?
No, I did. I never. I just wonder. Like, did they put him in Talladega Nights because he was in this movie, or just because he's John C. Reilly and he's hilarious, or both?
I don't know, but that's a great question.
I bet they did it because of this. They had to.
Did John C. Reilly help write the movie Talladega Nights because he was in
he practically plays his character, like the same character. He wasn't driving. Like, he was a pit guy. He was helping on the team.
Yeah,
he became. It's almost like you were saying with Cocktail, like in the comedic world. Like, he gets out of the pit crew and gets in the car later on in the career.
Literally, as soon as I saw him, I was like, Jesus Christ! Like, like I cannot believe that.
First of all, to me, he looks the same age. Like, I'm like, he didn't age from Talladega Nights until Days of Thunder.
That's him and Patrick Stewart. That's like 26 years later, 25 years later, that Talladega Nights.
Him and Patrick Stewart don't age. They've always been whatever age they have been forever. They always
very
look
true.
like that. They always,
like when Ricky Bobby's like, help me, Jesus, help me, Tom Cruise. I was like, now, was that because Tom Cruise is a Scientology guy, or was it because it's Tom Cruise? He's asking Tom Cruise help from like Cole Trickle.
Yeah, probably both.
That's why the joke works so well. I'm like, yes.
Not even that. Like, Randy Quaid is in this movie, and I love that. Like, I mean, he's not dead, but R.I.P. But like, I think like he, there's like,
what do you mean he's R.I.P.? What happened?
When's the last time you saw him in something?
Not doing well, I guess.
I don't know. There's a whole thing. That's a whole other episode. But like, Randy Quaid, he was so good. I loved it. I thought his part was so amazing. He was awesome.
I love to hate him.
Why? He did. There was nothing really to hate. At the end, he gave them an engine and he pushed them out.
He did. But there's a part where he's just like, I guess you're right. At one point, I was like, he's being sleazeball, but then he did give him the engine and stuff like that. But he has one of the best lines ever.
Yeah, and what is
you could say it.
It is one of the best lines. It's literally it is Point Break level line.
Yes,
and we end up looking
like young, dumb, and full of cum.
Yeah, young, dumb, and full of cum. We end up looking like a monkey fucking a football out there.
Yeah. I think that movie was the first time I've ever heard that quote before,
and the last time.
Dude,
we use it all. We say that all the time.
So Lee and I were actually texting about
all the time,
and Lee was like, "Did this movie come up with that quote?" So we actually looked into it. And Lee, where was it from? Like World War II?
It's from like World War II. Yeah,
yes. From World War II, and then it came back every once in a while. And I was like, there was another time I heard this quote, and now I'm trying to remember the movie. I think I might have texted it to you, Lee. That Airheads says it. It's in Airheads.
Oh,
Steve Buscemi says like, you look like a monkey fucking a football, and I was like, what?
Right.
Yeah.
So now there's two movies in the '90s that says that term.
Yeah. Fuck Airheads. But
don't watch Airheads again. It was terrible.
And people online, I'm going to tell you this all right now. Everyone listening to this, you are wrong about Airheads. It's not a good movie. I'm tired of everyone defending this piece of garbage. Anyway, back to Days of Thunder. There's another great line when they said about Tom Cruise being from California. It's like, if you're from California, you're not a Yankee. You're not really anything.
They also start chuckling. I was like,
yeah. They all start laughing. It's so weird. One thing about movies in the early 90s and the 90s and the 80s is that there's no empathy for anyone. Like, they go, "Oh, you stopped racing because your friend died? Who gives a shit? Fuck you."
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, bro.
The movie is completely un-PC, by the way, when you watch the movie. Like,
holy shit.
No, not to get too deep into crap or whatever, but 30 seconds into the movie, there's like the Confederate flag on.
Yeah.
You see guys smoking cigarettes, beer sponsors, sponsors. They're smoking cigarettes inside the restaurant.
Well, I think they really wanted to portray.
They
wanted to portray like this is like this is probably the first kind of movie like this to talk about NASCAR. And it was like, yo, we got to show that we're in the South. Like, it's like, let's put that flag up. Put everything.
They
I'm
didn't
like,
go too hard,
Jesus.
but they went hard enough. Like when you look at it today, you're like, right?
Yeah.
It was a prominent shot though, and it was
Airheads
a
had the
long
Confederate
shot.
flag.
It was like
Airheads had the Confederate flag as well.
what's
It
that?
did.
Airheads had it. The Rebel Radio
Oh,
was Confederate flag on their logo. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it was 90s. It was definitely
Yeah.
There was cigarettes everywhere. They gave no fucks about how they treated women in this
The
No.
three women that were in the movie.
Yeah.
The one woman who had the stopwatch, the woman who was either a stripper or a hooker.
We're not sure what, or she was just a friend that they were like,
grab his dick.
oh, we thought the guys thought you'd like me, and I'm like, so are you a friend that they were trying to hook up? We're not. What's going
And
on?
Nicole
Okay.
Kidman. Oh, no,
What
no,
about
no,
John
no.
C. Riley's girl that's just like hanging out and
She's
laughing
just there.
at everything?
Yeah.
She
And
was
then
just kind of like a groupie, or was she like? What was
and
she?
I don't know. And then Princess Bride, his girl at the end was like the most 90s woman ever with that really short haircut and like the harsh shoulder pad jacket. I'm like,
I was gonna say,
yeah, go ahead, Lee.
Roddy's or what's his name? Wheeler's girlfriend at the end of the movie with the one huge earring and the black hair. I was like, wow, there is no more 90s, late 80s, early 90s than that right there. She's in the movie for 3 seconds and it completely struck me.
Yeah.
Like,
I was like, I feel like I just got into Rocky 4.
oh,
Like,
great.
It looked like Rocky's wife.
Yes.
Alvin
yes.
Drago's wife, I mean. Well, Rocky's wife Stallone's wife at the time.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh
That's
my
what she
God.
looked
She's
like.
amazing. Amazing. Amazing.
Enough that I was like, that was a big scene that you saw that you remembered. Like, that's the first time we saw her and the last. And I'm just like, staple.
That was
90s
it.
staple.
Yeah. I think this movie, like, I want to go back to the beginning for 1 second because just like
You
in
could
Point
go.
Break, what?
Do it.
Okay. Just like in Point Break, I want to look at the opening credits.
Okay.
The worst font of all time. It was like I typed it on my computer and then superimposed it on a shot in Arial, like, or whatever. It was just like, fuck, we forgot the title. Just type Days of Thunder up there in white.
Yes.
They ran
Tom Cruise
money,
comes
they ran out
first.
of money in the budget to buy fonts.
Yes.
It's crazy.
Tom Cruise comes first,
glaring.
though.
Bro, but it was so
Tom
glaring.
Cruise comes first.
It was so glaring. It was just
Yes.
like Days of Thunder. And then it was just like, all right, let's keep going now. Like it was just, I couldn't believe it. It was, I had to write it down immediately. I was just like, Top Gun opening, like my first 3 notes, Top Gun opening, huge Confederate flag, exclamation point, terrible font for title.
Yes.
That's some
It was terrible. They could have done something better. Even the DVD cover is nice. Like they couldn't use that title. They're just like that came after.
No.
You know? No. What about I like some of the quotes were just like when Harry's like, anybody I gotta take a look at ain't somebody. And then another one was like, oh, when he's like, have you ever driven a stock car before? He's like, no. He's like, I've seen it on ESPN, it has excellent coverage. What? This guy's getting in his stock car just by looking at ESPN.
And he showed up in like a duster, like a trench coat on
Like
a motorcycle.
But then later in the movie, when him and what's his name, Harry are talking in the movie, he's got like a suit on again, like in the NASCAR garage. I'm like, why is he this?
Yeah.
Like what?
He loves the suit.
They're really going with like the California, like they're trying to California him a little bit.
He was the least California person I've ever seen in any movie. Like it was just so weird. It was like, just say he's from California. And who we casting? Tom Cruise? Yeah, no one cares. Who gives a shit? It should have been Matthew McConaughey if they wanted to make him California, but he can't probably do that accent. So
no. But
that's for the remake.
I like
stop. Don't put that idea out there.
The reboot.
Sorry, too early.
They're like, we have to update the technology.
I can't say that.
Days of Thunder.
What is it? When is it's coming out in 2 days. Roadhouse.
Yeah, not my Dalton. Yeah.
Not my Dalton.
Yeah.
It's coming. Listen, it's got good reviews, Dan.
Shut up. I don't want to hear it. Because everyone's trying to like say, Oh, it's not a reboot anymore. Well, then what is it? You called it Roadhouse. What are we talking about?
I'm
Like,
going
fuck
into
you.
it. I'm going into it with an open mind. I'm ready. I'm ready.
You're ready. I think it's
I'm
going to
ready.
be. I want to. We're watching it, and we're having like a breakdown of this thing, and I'm thinking if I have to go into it thinking if it's going to be compared to Roadhouse, it's not going to be good because it shouldn't be called Roadhouse, but
What
it could be just a good action movie.
Couldn't.
what would you be more upset about if the movie's good or the movie's bad? Like if it's
Ooh.
bad, like the original Roadhouse,
If
or
Whoa,
it's
watch your
or
mouth.
it's actually good, what do you prefer? Maybe that's a
Like,
better
are you
question.
talking about like bad but good, like Roadhouse is?
Yeah, like Roadhouse is a horrible movie, but it's an incredible movie.
Yeah,
Like it's Roadhouse is not a good movie. It's ridiculous.
I think the
yeah.
But
problem
it's like
is
80, it's so cheesy,
It's like
cheesy
80s.
80s.
Yeah,
So if this movie was like that, would you prefer that, or would you prefer if it was just like what if it was just a regular good movie, or would you not know what to think about it?
I'm just mad that they need to call it Roadhouse. It could have been called like Bouncer or Cooler, and then just make an action movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor and just have them fight. I
Ugh,
mean, it looks like a good action movie,
doesn't.
Yeah.
and like I'm okay with it. Listen, man, I
No.
love Fast and Furious. Like I
Yeah,
love
but
like those are
like,
cheesy as fuck, right?
Right.
but
But
Those are
the,
that's
bad
what I'm saying.
movies.
If they don't make this cheesy, are you going to be more upset than if they
yes.
made it cheesy?
Here's the problem, and
Yes,
this is why they can't
yes.
reboot these
Yeah, me
movies.
too.
Roadhouse, and then and just like Days of Thunder, they made a serious film. Like they went into making Roadhouse to be like, this is not a comedy. We're not doing anything funny. We're making a fucking movie about this shit. This is
You're
an
talking about the
action
original
movie.
Roadhouse.
The original Roadhouse.
Yeah.
Right. The new Roadhouse is gonna have like dumb bullshit jokes in it and ironic kind of things and just kind of this weird like we don't care comedy that doesn't work because they're too aware of themselves. Like in this movie, like Days of Thunder, it works. And the thing is, I was just talking about this before. I was like, they don't make movies like this anymore, where they just go, let's make a serious racing film. I think the last one was like Driven, maybe, and then maybe there were a couple others, but like
Rush.
they don't. They make movies where they're just like, it's an action film, but it's like we got to put someone in there that can also be funny. Tom Cruise isn't funny. Like he was funny in one part in Tropic
Whoa.
Thunder,
Yes. He was excellent in that.
but that was a cameo.
Dan, watch
But
your
if they-
mouth saying he's not a funny guy.
He's
Okay.
he's not billed to be funny, but I'm saying is that like this was a serious action film. When they do reboots or they're trying to do these things, they go, all right, well, it's like know that it's an 80s, so we're gonna put that 80s cheesy thing into it. They weren't trying to make anything cheesy. They were making a serious film. This new Roadhouse, it's just gonna be some bullshit, and they're gonna blow some shit up, and then Jake Gyllenhaal's gonna punch some people, and Conor McGregor is gonna be an asshole. And like, do I need to watch that? I mean, I'm gonna have to, unfortunately.
Yeah, yes.
Yes.
Yes. You're going to have to watch it because you're going to have to watch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's happening either way.
Yeah.
I wish it was. I guess I'm going to watch it on Saturday. 'Cause it's on Prime. It's straight to streaming. So
Yeah.
Oh, is it?
right, yeah.
Straight
So right there, we're like,
Ugh,
is it good? Like,
please be bad. I'd really prefer it's like awful.
I want it to be
Yeah.
the worst movie ever, but I feel like
Yeah.
they're just paid so many people to put good reviews up at this point. Everyone was like, "Oh, Connor's great." Shut the fuck up! Like, are you kidding me?
he's probably
Could-
good at just the
He
action
doesn't have
part
to
of
do.
it.
He doesn't have to do much.
Yeah.
I mean,
But I
Yeah,
think
but-
they do have him say a lot of lines. So we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, man, I'm gonna go and watch it, and if
Yeah.
if it's good, I'm gonna say it's good, and I will eat my words about reboots. But I
No, you
think
won't.
they shouldn't do reboots. Like Days of Thunder should not be redone. Like
No,
that
No,
should not.
stop. Just make a sequel. Have we learned
Just-
anything
yeah.
from Maverick? Just make the goddamn sequel.
Oh, they could do that.
yeah.
I mean, if it has anything with Tom Cruise, if he made a
Yeah.
sequel to Days of Thunder, might be really good.
Here's what I want to do: make the sequel to Days of Thunder. Cut out everything that was in the middle of this film. Once they crashed and they were in the hospital, I was like, "Oh boy, here we go!" And then it just was like, and it took a nosedive to the point where I was like, I was getting so bored at certain points where I was like, "Do we need this? Can we get rid of this? Why am I looking at this awkward bowl of grapes?" And then like you. And then I gotta see him ride another motorcycle. Like it's all Top Gun, but
Yeah.
they should at least they didn't have. I think they learned their lesson from Top Gun's awkward, horrible sex scene, and they was like, all right, we're not doing that here. Like we are not doing that.
Well, they
here.
kind of get into it like when he's
Well,
showing her victory.
when he
lane.
like
yeah.
like
speaking,
assaults her
speaking
with
of
a
that,
kiss for no reason, and then like, hey, here's my dick. Like no one's stopping him.
Speaking of what, Lee?
Speaking of no awkward sex scene when he's showing her how to draft
With the sweet low.
on her leg. Again, another Top Gun. When I'm gonna pull the brake, we're gonna fly on by. Like
Yeah.
like a Top Gun. That's his. In both movies, he has to have a move. Like that's his move. He drafts and then he goes around.
Yeah.
Top Gun
Yeah.
pulls the brake.
Oh my god.
I was
Oh my god. I wish there was something he had to do in Cocktail like that. Like first
Yeah.
I throw some ice cubes in there and then I shake it up.
I invented clear ice.
So that scene in Cocktail will probably be the scene where that was an awkward scene. The waterfall scene.
Oh, in Cocktail.
Yeah, and then
poor Elizabeth Shue had to take her shirt off for that bullshit.
that was a very slow part of Cocktail. Like
That was a
it
totally
was a
different
rom-com.
film. That's when the rom part happened.
That turned into like a softcore porn for a moment.
Yeah, with no porn. Like once again, so many of these like 90s and 80s films have these like weird softcore porn scenes without the sex scenes. Like they're in a bed and then he's talking sweet and low drafting and he's like to victory lane.
Sweet and low.
That's when
Slow.
like the sex would happen. She gets on top of him and then it's like cut and then like
Yeah.
it's over. It's just like
That's
okay.
a good point. Where did the sweet and low come from?
That's what I want.
Just having a little,
Yeah.
a little coffee in bed. Just
And like that's like the biggest like what was that?
They're both-
That's
they're
an
both watching their
advertisement
weight.
plug.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, Sweet and Low sponsored this film, so we got to make a scene. All right,
Sweet and Low's
I
like,
got it.
make it
Like-
sexy.
Exactly. They just have Sweet and Low in the room. So did they get a room? I guess they got a room because where do you just get Sweet and Low? Like
No,
nobody has
'cause
Sweet and Low
wasn't
in
it
their
in her
house.
house?
That's what I said. Like I gotta go back and look at the scene, see if there's some coffee cups around. Like where?
Yeah. Well, there's something on the bed. They're like eating on the bed.
Oh,
There's
where-
like there's like a thing of food or something on the corner of the
maybe
bed.
it was like
You look-
the morning after, and they ordered a little room service.
Yes, that's probably it.
Okay, that's the job for Google. I gotta look. that
Okay,
up.
I'm looking at it right now. It looks like room service.
It's
Yeah.
room service.
It's a room service tray.
Because remember, she went and
with a
visited.
ton of fruit. There's so much fruit in this movie. There's so much fruit.
Have you ever uttered those words before? There's so much fruit in this movie.
no.
Just checking.
That's a quote. That's gonna be when we finally make T-shirts. That's gonna be one.
Yeah, yeah. So
Oh,
let's
God.
talk about the rivals, the two like the Batman and Joker, the arch rivals, but yet are like friends
friends.
because they still respect each other.
Yeah. The Rocky
Right.
and Apollo.
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
he gains his respect, right? After crashing into him and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But and then like the part when like these guys hate each other so much that they need to race each other in wheelchairs.
The fuck
and-
was that?
They also need to race each other by renting two cars.
Holy
and
shit.
Fucking the shit out of those.
How many civilians died during that street race? That's what I want to know. Like, I want to know how many civilians got killed while these two idiots were driving in rent-a-cars.
Yeah.
They got on the beach. How do you get on the beach?
Okay.
No, they went from renting the cars to being immediately on the beach. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't. There was like a second, and then they're on the beach racing the cars.
How do you do it?
That was a Rocky 3 scene right there. They're like,
Yeah,
oh, let's just
that
put
was their Rocky
let's just
III.
put two men on the beach. Okay, but we gotta do something different.
Yeah.
Rental cars.
Rental
Like-
cars.
Rental cars.
Ford, whatever. Oh my god. No, those cars would have been. First of all, the cops should have. There were no cops. Like it was so funny. They just show up to the restaurant, not being chased by anybody.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, oh, what was
outta
the
here.
problem? The radiator. And that was kind of their like
Ugh.
link to liking each other though.
It was.
Like, because after that scene,
They were buddies.
they were buddies.
Yeah.
So they needed to get into a major car accident,
Mm-hmm.
rent a car, race each other, tie, and then they were just buddies right after that. There was no cut to like what like another thing that might have happened. They were just like, oh, we're friends. We're friends
Yeah,
now.
we're friends now.
Yeah. We're friends now. Now,
Oh man,
yes, and then it becomes
that was so
weirdly
stupid.
just a love story. And then what happens? I'm trying to remember.
Exactly. What happens is then he races. They were like, "Oh shit, we
No.
got to finish this movie."
Yeah, we gotta finish this movie. They're like, let's make him sick.
Then Roddy has a head problem and he can't race and
So then you get into the psychology of like the car racer, like
Yeah.
like this is the psychology of Maverick, right? Like he can't get out of his own head. His dad died or something like that, and he couldn't fly anymore because he thought he was like as bad of a fighter pilot as his dad. And he's just like,
engage, Maverick, engage. He can't drive through the crash. He can't drive through the crash.
Yeah, he's like, drop the hammer. Like it's like, exactly. It's like you could go through it. You could go through it. Before we get into the end part of it, the amount of moonshine that's in this movie.
Oh my god,
there's a lot of moonshine.
Harry he's a bootlegger. But that also goes into the fact that NASCAR started as bootlegging. So this is probably in there on purpose to, and also like, oh, these guys are outlaws, So like, and they drink so much to the point where I don't know how they didn't go blind in like the part when he's like, let's not talk about racing. And they're just like drinking and drinking. I was like, I thought that scene when they're like in the garage and he's like accusing Harry of killing, Magic Man's dad, and he's like, I was like, this is a heavy scene. This scene is mad heavy. Like I thought he was gonna really kill him, and then it ended up fine. I was like, they're both hammered. They're both just tripping on moonshine at that point. But I did like the relationship to Harry and his car. Like, there's two scenes, guys. Two scenes in this movie where Harry is talking to his car. Okay? The first in the beginning.
Do you like more the part about Harry and his car or the character arc of just the car itself?
I think I just like the fact that Harry is so passionate about. They tried to make this like a whole thing about how like the manager making the car and like when he's before he builds like the first car, like, and he's like, I'm gonna trim this, I'm gonna do this, and it's gonna give you like whatever amount of seconds or whatever through the thing, and then he doesn't talk to the car again until the mellow yellow car. Right. There's been there's like 4 different stock cars he races or 5 different stock cars. Races. Right. And whatchamacallit? And he's talking to the car then. So it's like,
isn't that Roddy's car at that point?
Yeah.
He said he's going to give him that car, his car to race.
It is. It's his car.
Yeah, but he has to build on the car. Like he has to reimagine the car, I guess. It's Roddy's like skeleton, I guess. But
no.
No,
he has the car at the end. It's
he has
his
the car.
The only problem is that it's leaking oil, and then
I get it, but like, why did he ask? What's his name? To like, build me, or like, I guess
Randy. That's in the beginning.
No, but he does it again at the end. He goes and he wants him to be there for the final race, and he's like, "No, I'm not. You can't get in the car." And he's like, "Yeah, I want to." He's like, "Build me the car." Like, so I guess like he does do like adjustments to the car.
Oh yeah, no, he had to.
He takes the engine from Randy Quaid.
Well, yeah. But he does talk to the car a little bit, and then the car leaks, and the car like gives him a bad like symbol.
Car throws up. So you can put
there's two love scenes, or like
there's one.
2 different partners talking to each other. Harry in the car, and then Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise meeting for the first time. And
to me,
don't they get married after this movie?
He was trying to do the same shit that killed Magic Man's dad.
Yes.
Do that and this over here. It's like this guy's gonna freaking kill Tom Cruise.
That's why he was so dirty at the end, because his exhaust.
I know his exhaust just blowing his face. He was the dirtiest at the end. That was to the point where they had Nicole Kidman in a white suit.
Oh yeah, I love
They
that.
always
part
do
too.
this. They always do this. Rocky
White
kisses
suit,
Adrian at the end, all
smudge on the
bloody.
face, the
Yeah.
black.
Yeah, she's like, I lied.
The Bruce Willis kiss at the end of Die Hard, like
Oh, yeah.
gross, man. Like,
Yes.
it's
Did
just-
you? Did this guy? Was it Tim Scott? Is it a Tim Scott movie? Is that what that is? This is a Tim Scott movie,
Tim Scott?
right?
No, wait, not Tim Scott. Wait.
That's
No,
my neighbor,
Scott.
Tim Scott.
Tim Scott.
no, Tony Scott. Tim Scott.
Tony Scott. Did he do Die Hard? Because there's a Die Hard sticker in Cole's changing room.
Okay, so let's check it out. Tony, here you go. He done on the IMDb right now. I don't see Days of Thunder. Was he directing? Okay, he directed. Okay. Days of Thunder. Nope.
No?
No, Days of Thunder. I'm seeing Enemy of the State, The Fan, Crimson Tide, True Romance, Man on Fire, Domino, Deja Vu. Nope, he didn't do Beverly Hills Cop 2, Top Gun. That's it.
Beverly Hills has some really good soundtrack as
The Last Boy Scout. That's what he did with Bruce Willis.
That was a crazy movie.
That was a crazy movie. Yeah.
Oh my
Yes.
god. Oh my god.
All right. So then there's another, what was it saying? The one that me and Lee always go, get out of the car, Cole. No, let me out of the car. Let me out of the car, Cole. Let me out of the car.
What an asshole. He's nuts.
She says it 5 times, by the way. I thought it was like 15 times, though. In my head, she says it like 15 times.
He is
Yeah, man,
insane.
That cab driver, whoever it is, like,
Yeah.
what a dick. Like, someone bumps into you like that with just to get out of the way. He pushed the car. Right?
It's 1990.
Yeah,
bro.
that's true.
So I'm watching the movie. I'm watching the movie with my wife, and she goes, she's never seen Days of Thunder before, which is blasphemy.
No,
But-
wait. What?
You know this.
But
think you know
she
this.
was in the
No, she
house,
did
in the
not.
Vermont house, constantly.
She's never actually watched.
Yes, I know that. She falls asleep all the time. I get it. Got it. Yeah.
She's
So she's finally
5
watching.
minutes of Days of Thunder. The amount of times I've seen 40 minutes of Days of Thunder.
Okay. She's like, what is this movie? So what did she say?
She's like, are you just allowed to ram cars in NASCAR?
Okay.
Can you just, is it still like that where you can just, it's just a bumper car race or it's a crash derby race? I was like, no. And I
No.
don't think it was like that then necessarily,
No.
where you just
No,
ram
there's-
every car on there and put
You
cars
can't-
like the wall.
Yeah, you
There's a
can't do that.
fact
I
in
started
here.
watching it. I was like,
Yeah.
holy fuck. Like everyone
Yeah.
would be dead. Like,
Yeah,
on
you're
the
right.
track.
It's like it would be like Derby, Lee. It would be like what is that called? The Derby. What is
Demolition Derby.
that? Demolition. Yeah. Like I think there's a fact that says like one of the moves that Russ Wheeler does against the wall would have disqualified him. He would have just been out of the race at that time.
Yeah. It
Yeah.
was ridiculous. That was
Dude,
the craziest part.
They actually raced like in the Daytona 500, 2 camera cars raced in the Daytona 500 to get some of this film. They did 41 laps
Wow.
and got lapped by Dale Earnhardt. Yeah. Yeah.
Close
Got
enough.
lapped by him because they, obviously they weren't trying to get like involved in the race, but they didn't get, and the person wasn't scored, but they actually did use real cars in this movie. So, I mean, they spent a lot to make this movie, and there's one guy, a famous guy, Richard Petty, says they got everything wrong except the numbers on the car.
Dude, one of the sexiest lines in this whole movie is when Cole says this to Claire Lewicki: speed, to be able to control it, to know that I can control something that's out of control. That's when like they were surrounded by fruit in her bed with the sweet and low.
Yes. Yes.
What the fuck was that? Like the lines. This is why sometimes I watch these movies. I'm like, yeah, they really didn't know how to write some of this dialogue. They were just like, yeah, we need a sex scene, but maybe they shouldn't talk. Maybe just
No, but how do you fill it in? How do you fill in the sex
you
scene?
do the stupid sweet and low thing, and then you go,
Stupid sweet.
I don't know, you just say, who knows? You don't say that. Like that was the craziest thing. Like, and did you know that Tom Cruise wanted Kurt Russell for the part of Rowdy? So this could have been a Tom Cruise Kurt Russell movie, but then he heard about Backdraft and then was in Backdraft in '91. So
Oh wow, that would have been a whole different movie.
yeah, definitely.
Damn.
You can't have Backdraft without Kurt Russell. I mean, there is
No,
No,
no.
no.
Another
That
That
movie
would have been
probably-
different movie though. Kurt Russell and Tom Cruise in the same movie. Has that happened before?
I
That
don't
must
know.
have happened at one point.
Nah, I don't think so. Because they're both leading men. How are you going to have both of them in the same movie?
I don't know. Kurt Russell, he's good,
Yeah, we're gonna have to get into the Russell verse.
dude. Russell, he isn't he in the Fast and Furious movies? He's Mr. Nobody in
He
the
is.
Fast and Furious movies.
Yeah,
And he's Santa Claus. He's a damn good Santa Claus.
that's a great movie.
I will say.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Nicole Kidman had a great Rocky 3 speech about like,
Yes.
that he can't win. They also
Which
treat
says
racism-
something about him being a
what's that quote
sociopath.
she has about control?
Yes.
Control's an illusion.
Yes.
You ignorant.
There it
whatever.
is.
I forgot.
Yeah,
I
it's
forgot
like-
what
Here it is.
I'm having in front of me.
Control's an illusion, you infantile egomaniac.
Yeah, that's
Nobody
it.
knows what's going to happen next. Not on a freeway, not on an airplane, not inside our own bodies, and certainly not on a racetrack with 40 other infantile egomaniacs. Wow.
That
Yeah,
was
you
a
may-
fantastic
You
quote.
may not know this, damn it. I have that tattooed on my ribs.
I like the one that he's
Oh.
like, hit the pace car. Hit the pace car. I just want you to be perfect. You hit everything else
Yeah.
in this car.
For what? Because you hit every other goddamn thing out there. I want you to be perfect.
Yes.
Robert Duvall is amazing.
I think he's one of the best. To me, he's the best, one of the best characters in this movie.
Absolutely.
He does so well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He really, yeah, he truly.
I mean, I think everybody plays a good character. I mean, I don't want to say I
Well,
love this movie,
I'm-
but like it's
Yeah.
it's just a fun movie. Like at one point I did go, I don't know if I'm gonna like this movie. There's a part where I was like, I forget where it is, but I fell asleep last night and I was like, shit, this movie is actually not that good.
The movie gets weird when Nicole Kidman starts talking to Tom Cruise about not going to see Rowdy at his house,
Yeah.
like not going to see him because that's a thing, or whatever. I'm like, all right, we could skip all this.
Then he
Yeah,
throws
yeah,
up.
Yeah, and he throws up and like Rowdy's all like
Yeah.
pissed off and he's like,
Yeah.
you get sick in there? He's like, no, he's like, he got sick, you freaking pansy ass. He's like,
Which is, I was just like,
I
why
think
did
you
he
get
throw
sick.
up? Like he threw up because he saw him faint. Like,
Yeah, because I guess he felt like
oh,
like
that's
the whole
him.
idea is that he felt like maybe then something would happen to him.
Yeah, I thought he
So.
just had the fart.
No. They don't want to talk about mental illness in this movie. He's like, oh, you're getting sick?
Not at
Get
all.
over it. Like,
There
get in
was-
the car. You're going
Yeah.
180 miles an hour. Who cares?
And
So, yeah.
there was no such thing as traumatic brain injury in this movie. There was
No.
Yeah.
being
No,
macho, being a man.
Well, Tom Cruise
Yeah.
said something crazy to Nicole Kidman. He's like, "I'm more afraid of being nothing than getting hurt.
Yeah.
Now put me in this dangerous car." He should have, like, just like Rocky. There's no way that he didn't have a traumatic brain injury. His car flipped over 1,000,000 times.
Yeah.
Like, come on. Like, just like in Rocky, it doesn't matter. Get him in the car. We need to end this movie. Like, he'll win this race, you know. And the thing is, like, too, Lee, when you're saying like it got weird once Nicole Kidman came in, is because her part is just horrible, and it's not her fault. Like, she's just like, again, like the doctor in Roadhouse. It just feel like women just come in as doctors and like to just like
No, it's her fault, Dan. It's her fault. It's her fault. We don't have to be. I mean, listen, Nicole Kidman's a very accomplished actress, but we don't need to pretend like she was good in that movie. She was horrible.
Well,
She was
here's
horrible.
somebody. Here's some of the other people.
I
Yeah, go
argue that
ahead.
she nearly ruined the movie.
There-
Yes. Except for the get me out of the cockhole. Get me out of the
I
cock.
mean, except for that part, which has provided me years of quotes to Manny on the phone for no reason at all.
Give me
Like
the cock hole.
random, like just get me out of the cockhole. Get me out of the cock. I'm like, yep. That and what is it? Sinka. What is it?
Oh, you
The
dead
cool
man.
running. You dead man. The cool runnings one.
Oh God.
The guy with the
I have
egg.
to see that movie.
We had to put that one to the test.
Yeah.
That's freaking John Candy.
So
So-
some of the people that were actually turned down Nicole Kidman's role as Claire Lewicki are Kim Basinger, Sandra Bullock, Allison Dottie, Jodie Foster, Sarah Jessica Parker, Madonna, Heather Locklear, Michelle Pfeiffer, Molly Ringwald, Julia Roberts, Meg Ryan, Brooke Shields, Sharon Stone, and Ali Sheedy.
I don't think I could see Madonna as a doctor. She would have not been good. She would have been worse for this movie. I think Sandra Bullock should have gotten it.
No.
I was like,
here's the real problem. Tom Cruise is awkward in every sex scene he's ever been in any
Absolutely.
movie, love scene. What's that?
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yeah, so it's like he's an awkward dude.
Yeah.
Like he just makes it awkward.
Yeah.
He's my favorite actor, so don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Oh God, Tom Cruise is your favorite actor, but
no, I agree. Like,
listen, the
He
man
just
can do
can't
almost
be-
no wrong in my eyes. But in that movie, it's so awkward.
yeah,
Oh, anytime he has to do any sort of kissing or
Yeah,
a sex scene, it's just weird. And I think they learned their lesson, and that's why in Maverick there wasn't really a sex scene.
yes.
yeah.
I'm glad that they cut that out. The worst movie I would say that he has a sex scene is Eyes Wide Shut,
Yeah.
and that was with his wife at the time. So it's like,
Well, I mean, come on.
yeah,
It's a good movie though.
And he,
I like it.
I haven't seen
oh,
that one,
movie.
and I don't
Just-
even think I watched it fully.
No, you don't
That
like the
movie.
movie, Dan?
Oh, I've seen it like a bunch of times. I
Yeah.
like it because there's a whole conspiracy about that being a reason why, there's like Stanley Kubrick was like exposing a lot of things in like in the industry and all these weird like industry
Yeah.
like secrets and stuff, and then he dies and they're like, okay, and then they like sort of remade kind of, and then released the movie, but movie's crazy.
Yeah.
Like I said, I think I've seen parts of that movie, and I don't think I've actually sat down and been like, all right, I want to watch
It's
this whole
fucking
thing.
nuts.
Yeah, I heard it's crazy. I
Yeah,
heard it was nuts.
but yeah, Tom Cruise is not as tall. Like when he stood next to Nicole Kidman, I'm like, yeah, he's on Apple boxes.
Well,
He has to be.
yeah, and they definitely they always have to put him.
In
He
Risers.
can't look
Mhm.
small around people.
No.
So they
No.
shoot that stuff all the time for
Yeah.
him to look. Yeah. Love it. I think he should make a second one of this. I will say. They should upgrade it. What?
I think they need to leave this one alone.
Really? Cole Trickle?
What are you gonna do?
Who's going to be
Cole
the
Trickle
star
comes out of retirement.
other than no? Why?
No?
No, he's going to have to
He'll be
be
like
the Harry.
60 years old if he comes
Yeah.
out of retirement.
He's going to have to
70.
talk to the car.
He could be like the oldest. He could be like the oldest driver.
He'll
Like
die.
you remember
He could be-
Sylvester
he could be-
Stallone in
He could be
Driven?
Harry, he could be Robert Duvall, and
Oh, he could be.
Yeah.
But who would be the next like Cole Trickle?
that's the thing.
That's the problem. There aren't. I still believe, and I know Steve
Zac
and I had
Efron.
a whole argument. No, well,
Why?
Why?
I'm just saying he could.
Nah.
Like the new Cole Trickle.
I
No.
just
Or what about the bear? The guy who plays the bear.
Jeremy
he-
Allen White.
I'm
Look,
just saying. Come on,
I think
guys,
my go-to
what are we thinking
actor
about
is
here?
still that guy from Bridgerton. Just bring him in. Let's put him in some
Ah.
movies.
He could. I think he could play a Cole Trickle. He's
Yeah.
like not too muscular.
That's the problem. I was just saying, like, they're gonna make Ray J. John Page. They just always make now every action guy is either the male actors are super scrawny
But this is
or
not
jacked as
action.
fuck.
Yeah, but they don't
But-
need to have him. He just has to look like he's in shape.
Yeah,
Have
you
you
gotta
seen
be like
Gran Turismo?
Gran
Yeah.
Turismo?
Did you like it?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I liked it.
And those guys weren't like muscular. That guy was a
But
good.
the
That guy
dude
was
from
good.
Stranger Things was in it, and he was really good. And the guy who was the kid who was the racer was on that show with Jason Momoa. See, you ever see that thing on Apple?
Yeah, he was the son.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
pretty good. He was pretty good in that show. He was good.
Yeah, I thought it was. I thought it was an interesting movie. I didn't realize it was based on like a true story.
Yeah,
Oh,
there was a documentary about that.
That's
About
crazy.
like, the whole thing. Yeah, that I had saw like years ago.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
Dan, you know what we're talking about?
No.
Gran Turismo. So the game Gran Turismo is a sim, like a simulator game.
Yeah, I played that game.
All right. Well, it was so good and such a great simulator that the kids who were playing it got so good that the Gran Turismo like company was like, we're gonna start a racing team, a real racing team, and people who are good, we're gonna have this one competition, and the top 10 are gonna come train to be actual F1 racers,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just the story based on this thing happening.
Yeah.
And the racer who actually goes and becomes a racer, and people are like thinking that it's wrong that he's there because he's only practiced on the sim, and he ends up doing pretty well. So it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I liked it.
It's actually a real thing now too, where like these younger kids they race on these like real life, with a G-force, if you will, like sim racers, and they learn how to be serious racers. Like the F1 racers now, they all use sim racing all the time. And race on it, practice on it. And
so I've actually watched. So I was talking about that Netflix special, the Netflix documentary about NASCAR. There's like 5 or 6 dudes that don't look muscular, and you're like, what? And the guy's like, yeah, I do sim all the time, and they're like, they pay thousands and hundreds of thousands.
Most of these guys are small.
Yeah.
Smaller.
Well, I could get it now with the freaking
racers,
race and everything that they have to be in. It's
I mean,
crazy.
I think you have like you have some actors that you could choose from for this, but there's leave this one.
All right, fine. We'll leave this one alone. We'll leave it
Because
alone.
there are a bunch of other racing movies like Days of Thunder 2. What's the plot going to be?
Yeah, I don't know, because like you were just gonna get them into an accident again, and he has to come back from the accident, and he has to get over it, and he has to like something has to happen for him to go through it and stuff like that.
You can't do it.
So
leave it. You just let it be. Just focus on the sequel to Cocktail, and then like we'll just.
They have to race car. They have to race cars deep into Russia, drop bombs off, and get at an impossible mission up a mountain.
Yeah,
and then they got to get out.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You can only get in there with NASCARs. Duh.
There you go.
And that's
starring Vin
and
Diesel.
there it is, Days of Thunder 2.
Starring
we'll write
Diesel.
We'll write it on the fly.
Yeah, Days of Thunder 2, Mission Impossible. Like that's what it is. Isn't that really isn't that the Mission Impossible recent one that like didn't they have to go to like on a train that was impossible to get to, and he had to jump off of the cliff with the motorcycle? Yeah. So look, NASCARs instead.
Yeah,
movie's
just
great.
That movie's great. I can't. I'm like excited to see part 2.
Yeah.
They don't need to make another one of these.
I think you know what I wouldn't be mad about is Tom Cruise doing a F1 movie.
Brad Pitt's doing one right now.
Tom Cruise and Brad Pitt being arch nemesis. I think
that's a movie. They've never been in a movie together, right?
But they can't be nemesis. Which one's going to be the bad guy? It's going to have to be Brad Pitt.
It would be Brad Pitt.
It's not going to.
No, that's not true, because Tom Cruise has played bad before. He's played a dick in, was it Steel Magnolia or something like that?
How have they never been in a movie together?
Because they're two huge leading men. He's the most expensive film of all time.
I mean, Pacino and De Niro have been, were in took them a long time, and then they were in Heat, which was an incredible movie.
Yeah.
Well, we have to redo that one. I've only seen it once, and it was too long for me.
It's very long. It's a really good movie.
I still want the 90-minute movie back.
But
That's what I want.
if Brad Pitt
Enjoy.
and Tom Cruise want to do an F1 film, that would be cool. Brad Pitt's doing one. See, here's how they do Days of Thunder too. You have to bring it into F1. You can't just do another NASCAR film.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You would
I
have
agree.
to do a different one. It would have to be different. You know.
I like it.
Yeah.
Or
They race
do
boats.
those Red Bull racing,
Yeah.
the plane
How about-
racing.
Manny, maybe they do Bad Boats, the movie.
Yes. Bad boats. Put it on water. That's it. We've done air. We've done
There you go.
wheels. We need Bad Boats the
Bad
movie.
Boats.
Yeah, it's Bad Boats. That's another VHS that we used to watch a lot.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
This one house. This
Dan,
one
Dan, you
actually
haven't-
only had it.
Dan, you haven't lived until you've seen Bad Boats.
If it's better
That
than
definitely does
Airborne,
not
I'll
pass
watch
the
it.
test. No, dude,
No.
Bad Boats. What? Oh, you know what? Stop talking shit about Airborne.
That movie sucked, dude.
That movie did
It's
not
okay.
suck.
Let it go.
Lee, do you remember
Yeah.
Airborne? Airborne
I'm looking it up right now because no, I don't remember it.
roller skating movie. Jack
Oh,
Black's in
Lord.
it.
Oh Lord!
Come on, you don't remember this movie?
The slowest downhill race ever in a fucking
This-
movie.
The
on
guy
wheels.
Snake, the fastest
watching-
guy. His
I'm
kid's name is
watching
Snake.
videos right now. This is
Horrible.
Oh
terrible.
my god, I
No.
cannot believe
No,
you
I
don't,
don't
remember this
remember this.
movie.
No,
Lee, okay, when you have a moment,
don't watch it.
when you're like,
I'm
yeah,
not gonna watch
no,
this.
you're gonna watch it one day. You're gonna watch it one day.
All right.
When you're
So-
flying back home,
Don't waste your time.
download Airborne and watch it. How have you not watched Airborne? Lee? You've definitely watched this. A rollerblading movie. Guy is a surfer who ends up in Minnesota. Seth Green's in it. He's his like step,
This is very
cousin is-
familiar, I have to say.
and Jack Black's in it. And they race at the end, and they race. What is it called? Devil's Backbone.
Yeah. Which goes into like a
This-
mall.
When did you guys watch this for the podcast?
Yeah. It was the worst
Why?
episode. Don't watch it.
What was the worst episode?
Yeah, it's the,
It was
the
a
guy
good
that was on
episode,
fell
but it
asleep.
was
The guy Rob that was on it like laid down while he was on it. It was
we're
hilarious.
we're just straight up just naming him now.
Yeah, I'm gonna name him. He might
All right,
be
good.
listening right now. Sorry, Rob, but you laid down during the episode. I don't
Yeah,
know what to tell you.
At least this can't be the worst episode then. Second to worst.
No, absolutely not. This is great. No,
All right.
it was a good movie. Well, why did I go on that tangent?
I don't know. This whole episode has been a tangent.
Yeah, Dan, did your timer
it-
go off? We're past.
Yeah,
the
went
time.
went off a few minutes ago.
Okay. All right.
Any other things that you want to talk about, like anything you want to bring up or that we forgot, which is a ton of stuff before we put this to the test? And then Lee, we need your Rocky rating.
Okay, so I think that the montage in the beginning, the training montage was great. I think this movie could have been 20 minutes less. Shorter.
Yes.
Yes. That's about it. That's all I have to say about that.
Let me say this. As a 12-year-old, this movie was an absolute epic. An absolute epic. I mean, I'm not sure in 1990 what was movie of the year in 1990.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Look that up. But
I mean, it
But I
didn't
can't-
do well at the box office. I think it did well afterwards. I mean, I know I watched it so many times, so
because
I definitely.
anyone above with a maturity level over a 12-year-old boy was probably like, this movie is crap. But that's a 12-year. For me,
You
as,
could
let's
say that
say,
about Airheads.
11 or 12-year-old boy, whatever I was at that time. This movie was absolutely epic.
And it was Tom
Absolutely
Cruise.
epic. And
Yeah.
it was Tom Cruise. I mean,
And
he's
Robert
coming off
Duvall.
Top-
I mean, they had some big names
yeah,
on
he's
here.
coming off
Robert
Top
Duvall.
Gun.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just made. When was Born on the 4th of July? Was that before this or after this?
Ooh.
Ooh.
Ooh, that was a heavy movie. I think that was before. I think it was
That
before
was
Days
a
of
real
Thunder.
heavy movie. Born on the 4th of July, just right here. This was
1989. That came
1989.
out
So
the
this is
year
just
before.
after Born on the 4th of July, which is a
Yeah.
super heavy movie. And did he win? No, I think he got snubbed on.
He's
Born on the
never
4th.
won an Oscar.
No.
Yeah, so he got snubbed on Born on the 4th of July, which is arguably his.
Best role.
You could say arguably his best movie, his best drama for sure.
Dude, I can't believe he took that part. That's
And
like
then,
that.
and,
that was
and
a
then this
crazy
comes out
part.
right after that. This
Yeah.
comes out a year later after that.
And then he goes into
Good
A
movie.
Few Good Men.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't handle the truth.
So you start looking at Tom Cruise movies and his filmography, and you're like, whoa, these are some
Yes.
some serious movies.
I mean, dude, he does play with good leading men. He was in with Jack Nicholson. Like,
Yeah.
Arguably at that point was top of his game. And then Tom Cruise is in it, arguing with him. Then The Firm, Rain Man, Born of the Fourth. I mean,
dude,
stop
just
it. Jerry Maguire.
One after another.
Yeah, I even like Collateral. It was a slow fucking movie, but that was a good movie, I thought.
Dude, The Firm, awesome movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, definitely, dude.
And then
go ahead.
Oh no, they did act together. Interview with the Vampire, right? Wasn't Brad Pitt?
Oh, that's right.
You're right.
That's right.
That's
right. That was a good one. That's right.
Phenomenal movie.
Yes,
phenomenal movie. I can't believe I forgot about that.
I forgot one thing.
I have to go back and watch that movie because I used to love that movie.
Movie is great, and I forgot one thing about this movie.
Yeah, sorry, again.
That is in all Tom Cruise movies. He runs. He runs at the end. I was like, yes. I was like, where's the Tom Cruise run? Where's the Tom Cruise run?
They're racing. Him and Robert Duvall are running the entire movie. They're always racing.
That's
each
true.
other.
Yes,
they raced out of the barn. They raced at the end of the movie.
Yep.
But nothing like Tom Cruise running in The Firm. Like him running in The Firm,
right? Or Mission Impossible. Or Mission Impossible.
But I think there's
The Firm is the classic.
Yeah. There's a YouTube video of somebody putting all of Tom Cruise running and how many miles he's actually ran in all his movies put together. Yes, there's somebody that has
Oh my God. So the top 10 movies of 1990 are coming in at number 10, Kindergarten Cop. It grossed 201 I'm going to round these up.
Fantastic.
202 million.
Who is your daddy and what does he do?
$202 million. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles came in at number 9 at $202 million as well. Presumed Innocent came in at number 8, 221. Die Hard 2, 240. Back to the Future 3, number 6, 244. Total Recall came in at number 5. Dances with Wolves came in at number 4. Pretty Woman, Home Alone, and the number 1 movie, the highest grossing film of 1990 was Ghost.
Oh,
$506
coming in hard.
$6 million. And the Oscar for Best Film of 1990 with the Oscars came out. The Oscars in 1991. That the movie of 1990 was Dances with Wolves.
Dances with Wolves. I remember.
And what was nominated was Dances with Wolves, Awakenings, Ghost, Godfather 3, which what the fuck, and then Goodfellas. I think really
Goodfellas got snubbed by Dances with Wolves. I forgot all about that.
Dances with Wolves is an epic. It's one of those movies that are gonna win, dude.
Yeah. That was a really good movie.
Yeah, Goodfellas is not going to win.
Goodfellas is 1990. Holy crap. What a year for movies.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
It was good.
Wow.
And Days of Thunder.
Dude, Total Recall was a good movie.
Absolutely.
Great movie.
Yeah. I would say Total Recall passes the test.
Arnold
It's a good movie.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, 2 top 10s in the same year with the Kindergarten Cop and Total Recall.
Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger, everyone said that Conor McGregor is now this generation's Arnold Schwarzenegger. That was in the reviews.
Whoa, that was a review?
I sent one to you, yeah. Horrible.
I would say, Lee, I'm going to mention this to you, and I've been mentioning, Dan sent me a book called Last Action Heroes.
Yeah.
I think you'd love it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like all about all the action heroes at that time.
Yeah.
Arnold, Sylvester Stallone, their feud that they're having. And
JCVD, Jackie Chan.
Yeah, it's really
Get that book. Don't watch Airborne and read that book on the plane.
Yeah.
I would much rather do that.
All right, so let's put Days of Thunder. No, let's put Days of Thunder to the nostalgia test, seeing if it's still good. If it passes, if it's still good, if it doesn't pass and it's just nostalgic, or if this was just a total fail and needs to go the way of Airheads. Wait, did Airheads get? I don't even know what happened to Airheads. So Manny, Days of Thunder, what do you got?
Man, this is tough because like I love it. I just think it stays nostalgic. I don't think you could watch this right now and say like, oh, this is good. This is good. Like there was too much where there was a part of me questioning whether I actually like this movie or I just like I like ironically like it because Tom Cruise is in it. Like that I have to like it because I'm a great Tom Cruise fan and it's just that kind of movie. It's a Tom Cruise movie. So like I think it's just nostalgic. It's not bad, but it's not that doesn't pass the test for me. It's not one of his like Top Gun passes the test. This does not. It's basically just Top Gun point two with wheels. So we need a hot boats and then move on from there. But that's where
Can I tell you something, Manny?
Yeah.
I don't even know who you are.
Why?
I don't know who you are anymore.
Well, I'm just being honest. Like I want to say I'm not going to not watch this. I will tell you like this isn't the last time I'm watching this movie. Like I got man, if you told me like does the last 10 minutes pass the test? Absolutely. The first 30 minutes, first 30 and last 10 passes the test. Like I was into it. Like when he goes through the smoke and he's like, "Harry, I'm through. Like I was like, "Yeah, let's go." I was like excited. So but
around the 38-minute mark is when like that's when it becomes like a medical drama.
Yes.
And then around hour 18, hour 20, that's when it gets back to the actual racing sort of.
Yeah, so I think it's just more like that there's better movies that I don't know. I guess it wasn't cheesy enough for me to be like, yeah, it passes no matter what. So that's where I'm staying. Sorry, Lee. Sorry. Okay. He's like, I'm taking your Tom Cruise card away, Manny. Like, I'm still going to quote the shit out of this movie.
I mean, that's the thing. I think people need to start understanding just because it's nostalgic does not mean it's bad or good.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's a fun movie and this is a movie that would be something that I would watch. But I'm saying it's nostalgic. It was fun to watch. It was fun. I just I'm going to fast forward a lot.
Yeah. Lee?
That's like I'm going to say. Just
Dan, I hear what you're saying. I'm just saying for Manny, for Manny.
Yeah.
I don't know who it is. Not for normal. I'm gonna write Tom Cruise a letter tonight and let him know that Manny Coelho said that this movie did not
stays in nostalgia.
Send it to me. I'll drop it off at the Church of Scientology right up on Hollywood Boulevard.
If you don't mind.
He's walk right by it all the time, I assume.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
So Lee, what do you think?
Yeah, to me, it definitely passes the nostalgia test. I'll tell you why.
Go ahead.
My wife watched it today for the first time in full, and she loved it. Mm-hmm. Loved it. And she doesn't like any sort of cheesy movie like that.
Wow.
And she loved it.
Yeah, she doesn't. That's true.
She was way into it. Into it.
Good.
All right. Definitely passed the nostalgia test. Nostalgia. And I watched it twice today just to make sure I was prepped.
Wow.
Whoa. I wasn't like struggling through either time. So
all right. Wow.
Yeah, well, good shit.
Excellent. Well, there you go. Before we close out, Lee, what is your Rocky ranking? From best to worst Rocky 1 through Balboa.
Oh shoot. Rocky 4 is the best movie. It's the best movie, right? Rocky 4 is the Drago. Is that
that 3 yes, that's 4.
4. It's 4, right? All right. 4 is 1. 1 is 2. 2 is 3. 3 is 4. And then
wait.
So you're saying 1, 4, 2, 3 is what you're saying? Okay.
Oh, no. Okay.
The best movie is number 4.
Yeah.
The second best movie is number 1.
Okay.
It's the first Rocky, which is if you're just looking at again, you can look at this 1,000 ways, right?
It's fine.
But Rocky 1 is is a classic cinematic masterpiece.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
But Rocky 4 is the best Rocky.
Okay, yeah.
Absolutely. Okay. I agree.
So you got a 4-1 and then what's the third one?
As a younger kid, Rocky 4 is the best Rocky. It's not even
Yeah.
U.S.
We get
USA,
it. We're not judging
come
any
on.
of this.
No.
We only judge people who put Rocky
We-
5 first. So,
Yeah.
like,
5?
or second,
Well,
or third.
we'll
or
talk about that. But what's your third one?
Rocky 2, the second one.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
And then your fourth one?
Is Rocky 3.
3.
Yeah.
And then fifth one?
That's a good. This is where it gets dicey, right?
I don't know. Some people put Balboa over. Like I put Balboa over 2.
So
and
did
then
I.
the reason why I do that is because
what?
watch, I'll tell you. Listen, 2
Okay,
doesn't
listen.
exist alone. 2 needs to have 1.
You never
Right?
watch Rocky 2 by
You
itself.
can't watch. You will never watch Rocky 2 by itself, but you could watch Rocky 3 by itself.
Why?
You could watch Rocky 1, Rocky.
Have
4.
you ever sat down and went time to
Yeah, I
watch
want to watch
Rocky
Rocky 2
randomly?
Never.
If it's just on,
Yeah, you're never gonna see if it's
that's
on.
like
but
saying when I watch Good Burger if it comes on TV.
No.
I'm just gonna
That's
turn-
different.
If it's
I'm
on,
saying
watch
you
Good Burger.
choose
Yeah,
to watch
if you
Rocky
chose.
2. Like you're like, I'm gonna watch a movie tonight.
Oh,
Rocky
yeah.
2.
would you watch Rocky 2 over Rocky 3?
Oh, good point. Good point. Yeah, solid.
I would
point.
watch
That's why-
Balboa
That's why you
over
guys are
2.
the professionals.
Like
Yeah.
that, we have somebody that even said Rocky, like Balboa, was over 2.
3.
No, that's blasphemy.
I like Balboa. I thought Balboa was good.
I thought
I
Balboa was
didn't
good.
think. I didn't think it was good.
You didn't like it?
No.
I mean, I
No.
think it was necessary to take
It was
away
fine.
5.
I mean, it was
It
fine. It was
needed-
fine, but like enough is enough.
I needed that to like
Like
wash
you
out.
didn't have to make the movie.
Well, you needed to get rid of
to
5.
satiate my appetite for Rocky.
Well, 5 needed to go.
I was
So
good
wait,
after
so is it-
4. I was good after 4.
So yeah,
that's
well,
it.
I think we all were.
You're right. I think we were all fine after 4.
That's what I'm saying. So how could you ever put Balboa over 2 if you
Some
didn't
people do.
need if you didn't need the movie?
I guess because just that it was just like there. I guess some people just like me is that Rocky 2 doesn't exist
Yeah.
without like Rocky Balboa can exist without Rocky.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, mine
Actually,
was
no, it couldn't
You can
exist
talk,
without
you can
Rocky
talk
1.
yourself into that.
Yeah,
all you
you're
want.
right. You're right.
like mine was 1 4 3 1 4 3 6 2 5.
1 4 3 6 2 5. Oof.
Just
All right.
because we're not saying that 2 was bad, it's just like it's so
I'm
long.
not watching
First of
it.
all, 2 is so fucking long when he's reading to her, and like the whole beginning of that movie is just a coma. Like you're just like, okay, all right.
In Rocky
Like,
3, you have like 2 or 3. You have 3 fights.
Rocky 3, you get rid of. You have 2 different movies in Rocky 3. There's like Mickey dies. Okay, Rocky 3 is great. I thought it was like, did I do 1 3? Did I do 4 3
Yeah,
1?
but in 2 he wins the belt.
True.
Yeah, which is great.
You could say the same thing. You can't have 3 without 2. There's no.
Yes, but
But I'm
If
gonna.
you-
watch
I think
three.
one. See, I
If you
always
go straight
think
to
like.
3, you have no clue what's happening.
But
You have no clue about the history of Rocky.
I mean, you
Nah,
don't
you can
feel
watch
for him
Rocky
as
3
much.
without Rocky 2.
Yeah, but you don't feel as like Mickey dies. You won't feel for him. You're right about that. Like I cried when Mickey died,
Yeah,
but that's because like 1 and 2. But I think 1 and 2 should be together. Like if you're gonna like 1
Yeah,
again,
with
2
an
doesn't
intermission.
exist. Yeah, with an intermission, because right now it would come out because there's 4-hour movies now only. So like, yeah. So
yeah, but
anyways,
they are tough. And
That's
it's,
crazy.
it's a fair argument. It's a fair.
so where are we at with you? Because we make t-shirts for everybody. So it's 4
yeah,
1
we
2.
do. We make teachers, everybody.
Yeah, 4 1 2 3
So what's better, 5 or 6?
5 6.
Oh, you put 6 at the bottom. Woo! Yeah, we had a person
I just lost
online.
Dan. I lost Dan. He's logging off.
We had a person online. No, you
I end
lost
the
Dan.
episode right here. I was like, pouring.
Lee, we had a person online tell us that 5 was like second best. We were like,
One of the
what?
most memorable lines of any Rocky movie.
Sue me for what?
No, I need no bell.
One more row.
One more round. Tommy, let's take this outside. My ring's outside.
One of the
Oh,
most
man.
memorable quotes of any.
I mean, the
Rocky.
quotes are great in Rocky 5, but like that movie's trash.
I didn't think
that
that.
movie.
I have to go back and watch Balboa. You're giving it a lot
Oh,
of credit.
It's
You're
great.
giving me a lot of credit.
I thought it was good.
I love it.
I like it.
Especially when he feeds the rats those gumdrops.
Yeah.
Oh man, on that
Let me
note-
ask you this one thing. I know we
Okay,
got to
go
go,
ahead.
Dan. No, without watching it again,
Yes.
Hot Tub Time Machine does it
Yes,
pass
yes.
test?
Man, I've seen it.
Without
once.
watching it again?
Yes.
Like, what do you mean again?
Like you've probably seen it
Like, without-
recently.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
probably watched it like a month ago.
Yeah. So I love that movie, right?
The movie is incredible.
my niece,
It's awesome.
who
Yeah.
you know, watched it because I fell asleep in Vermont watching it because obviously it's like we watched it.
Yeah.
We have like 5 DVDs of it in Vermont.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know. Her and Andrew were like, I don't know why you guys like that movie so much. I was like, what do you
Really?
mean? Like, and I guess they didn't.
It's a classic. It's a classic movie. It feels like a 90s throwback,
That's why.
80s, 90s
That's why.
throwback movie, and it's just a fun movie. Like, there's nothing.
Yeah,
there's
she
nothing
said.
to- there's
She said,
nothing.
I don't
to it.
understand why you guys love it so much. I was like, well, also she didn't grow up in the ski school era. Remember ski school and
Yeah.
Snow Patrol or what those kind of movies? Because like that was an homage to that as
Plus-
well.
Plus,
Yeah,
the
but
end
you
of the
don't
movie-
even
the end
need
of the
to
movie
have-
is so. Go ahead, Dan. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, like, I've never seen Ski School, but I watched Hot Tub Time Machine, and I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
I-
have to see any of that shit to think that
Yeah.
movie's good.
What were you saying
And
about the end?
The end of the movie is so good when they come back and Lugal. and,
yeah.
what's his name? made the Black Eyed Peas song. He's got all
Yeah,
the songs.
He just like takes everybody
all the
else's
songs
songs.
are his. I mean,
I loved it. I think it's great. I think it passes, but like it was interesting to see like that generation be like, I don't understand why you like this so much. I was like,
see if
yo,
she
this
likes
movie
Fear and
was great.
Loathing.
I still remember. Oh God, or like, what's it called? Was it Dazed and Confused? Probably doesn't
Yeah.
even get that. They what the fuck?
Maybe they'll
was
get
it?
Snack Shack.
Snack Shack.
Hashtag
Yes,
Snack Shack.
I gotta check out that episode, Dan.
Good
So
actually, is this a movie? I don't know. I
yeah, it's a
feel-
movie that we actually got to. Dan ended up doing the interview.
I interviewed two of the stars, Connor Sherry and Mika Abdallah, and it's like a coming of age 90s film in Nebraska that takes place in like Nebraska City. It's like one summer, like 15-year-old coming of age story, and it's actually really great. I thought it was really amazing.
I thought it was great.
Support.
It was like they open up a snack shack, or they take over a snack shack
In the public pool.
at a public pool,
It's,
and they're like 15-year-olds who are just
and they
trying to
make their
money.
own beer too.
And they're home brewers, and they're
This is
trying to like
a
sell.
movie that
At
just came out, or-
14.
Yeah. So we got the
Yeah.
we got the, what is it called, the
Advanced
streamer,
copy or whatever.
the screeners for it, and then Dan got to interview two of the actors to talk about it. Actually, it's a good coming of age movie.
Yeah.
I
Is
like
it out now to watch, or is it not?
You go
out
to
yet?
theaters, in the theaters now.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll check
It's
that.
good.
All
Still
right,
good
so that was a nice tangent. Now,
Yes.
everyone, please. Lee,
I think
thank you
I think
much
Lee
for
would like
coming
it.
on this episode, talking Days of Thunder, and yeah, just mixing it up.
I disappointed Lee on this
well,
because
Manny,
I just
I think we
it's
disappoint
still
a
a
lot
good
of people.
movie. Just
I
doesn't-
think we disappoint a lot of people on this podcast with our opinions, but you know, it is what it is. Lee killing it on this episode. Thank you so much. And everybody, tell us what you think about Days of Thunder. Hit the like and subscribe, and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and YouTube at The Nostalgia Test, on X at Nostalgia Test. Mix it up with us. Give us your opinions. Argue. Whatever you got to do. And hashtag not my Dalton until the end of time.
Get out of the car, Cole. Get out of the car. Let me out of the car, Cole.
Get out of the car.
Let me out of the car.
Thanks for listening to today's episode. Please subscribe to the Nostalgia Test podcast to know when new episodes drop. Don't forget to leave us 5 stars and a positive review so more people can find the podcast. Share your thoughts and memories on today's topic on our Twitter at Nostalgia Test and on Instagram at The Nostalgia Test. Tune in next time because you never know what pop culture will pop up on The Nostalgia Test.